Another edition of Xperience Sessions right here on indigomusic.com. I'm Rohit, and joining me right now, well, a lot of people call her Jalebi Baby Girl. Yes, Shweta Subram, welcome once again to indigomusic.com.
Thank you so much, Rohit, for having me. It's a pleasure to always speaking with you guys, and thanks for having me on indigomusic.com.
Now, Shweta, we'll talk about the main thing in a bit, but I read somewhere that the piano guys, selected you for the Indian rendition of Swedish House Mafia's "Don't You Worry, Child." Now, when this happened to you,
Right.
what were some of the things that was going on in your mind?
To be honest, I personally thought it was a prank
Right.
because I remember I was actually home in Canada, and believe it or not, about 2 weeks before that call came to me from the piano guys, I remember a friend of mine was an avid fan, avid listener of the piano guys.
Right.
So, he would watch their videos and he would just tell me, Shweta, how cool would it be if you were featured in one of their videos? I think you guys would make an amazing team together. And, he just mentioned it in passing. And then I looked at their videos and I was like, wow, yeah, these guys are supremely talented. And they do have some outstanding videos, Great Wall of China. And they really picked their locations. And they just leave you breathless. So anyway, so I kind of said, wow, they're really talented. Would be nice. It would be a dream come true. That was my reaction. And then 2 weeks later, it's kind of like the universe was listening, or I don't know what happened, serendipity.
Yeah.
I got a call from, I remember Paul and Steve. So Steve plays the cello.
Right.
So he called me and he's like, yeah, hi, it's Steve from the piano guys. And I honestly thought it was my friend playing a prank on me. But then I said, this is not possible because he's sitting right in front of me in my
Right.
living room.
Right.
So I was like, okay. And then he calls me, and of course, as you know, as we say, the rest is history. He asked me to be a part of the song. Quite a challenging project because I've never done that before, where you take, extremely popular song
Yeah.
that's in the billboards, it's trending. It's and so obviously you're being judged quite a bit when you're asked to make an Indian version of it.
Right.
Because you have to kind of justify with the lyrics and with the tune and still make it sound Indian.
And it's a
But,
track of
it
Swedish
was
House
beautiful.
Mafia.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
yeah.
So there was a lot of pressure, but I think the icing on the cake for me was when Swedish House Mafia themselves on their Wikipedia page wrote about, they've added our track as one of the interpretations of their songs.
Right.
So they've acknowledged it. So that goes to say a lot. And of course, the audiences world over. I mean, I got so many messages from people world over, and the numbers speaks volumes. Like we got like a lot of hits and a lot of views.
Right. And your track, Jalebi Baby with Tesha, it's been, I think it's been a lot of time since it released, and it's still trending.
Yeah.
And that's because
It still
the
is.
track is done so well and the track is so catchy. How did you and Tesha meet in the first place?
So we haven't met at all, believe it or not. We haven't met
Wow.
face to face yet.
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
still haven't met face to face. Yeah, so
Does he live
basically
in, he
it's
does live in Canada, doesn't he?
he lives in Canada, but I live in Dubai now. So
All right.
funny enough is we both are Indo-Canadians.
Right.
I actually reached out to him because a friend of mine had, she works out in the gym and she listens to all kinds of artists,
Right.
especially the non-commercial ones. So she was listening to Tesh. She came across Tesha and she said, he's Indo-Canadian and it'd be really cool if you guys collaborate. And I just listened to some of his music on SoundCloud, and I remember just writing to him saying that, good stuff. Nice to see a fellow Indo-Canadian do so well. And the next thing I know, he writes to me saying, you know what, really funny, I'm working on this track, and I really think that your voice would, like the texture, the tonality of your voice, may be apt for it. Do you mind recording your vocals and sending it across? And I was in Dubai. This was during lockdown, during COVID. So
Yeah.
I was not going into any studio. I just had my laptop, my microphone, my mini studio set up at home. I recorded my vocals, sent it. The next thing I know, and initially, in fact, interestingly enough, he said to me that you're just going to be recording some background vocals. So I
Right.
didn't take it very seriously. I'm like, I've never done background work before, but it's not going to be too much work. It's just something little. But the next thing I know, when the song releases, I'm actually singing the hook of the song. I'm not singing a background vocal.
Yeah.
I'm singing the title Jalebi Baby, and my voice is clearly all over the track. So quite an interesting experience, not meeting someone, but thanks to technology, we're able to do so much these days, from no matter where in the world you're living. So yeah.
And then Jason, the icing on the cake was Jason Derulo giving his vocals for that particular track. Don't you think that TikTok and Instagram Reels played a major role for Jalebi Baby to, be where it is right now?
Of course, I think TikTok, and even though I'm honestly not on TikTok at all, but I think with Instagram Reels, I see that it's played an active role not just for Jalebi Baby. It's playing an active role for so many people's careers. There's a star popping up every day,
Right.
because now stars don't have to rely on a music label to get their music heard. All they do is they sit in their rooms and they're creating this amazing music and putting it out on Reels, and the next thing you know, it catches fire, it's trending, and you're a sensation overnight. So going back to Jalebi Baby, I think that's exactly what happened. And so we had the initial version where it was Tesher and I, and
Right.
then it was trending so much that Jason Derulo came on board, and they created another version. And initially I was a little skeptical of the song was going to change entirely, but when I heard the song, I was pretty pleased and happy to see that my voice still remained there, despite Jason coming on board. So now I can officially say that I have a track with Jason Derulo, so it's cool.
And the track has gone to places. Yes, Miss
Yeah.
Marvel, a mini series, in fact, on Disney Plus Hotstar. What went through your mind when you saw episode number 2 and you saw your track on that particular? Did you even know that Disney's using it?
No, I actually didn't know. If you ask me honestly, I didn't know about it.
Okay.
I found out about it only because one of the a top business tycoon in Dubai, his family, they're really sweet. They love music and they're such fans.
Right.
So I remember one morning waking up and getting a message from them saying congratulations, and I said, now for what?
Right.
And they said, your song is in Disney, Miss Marvel.
Miss
And I
Marvel.
said, oh wow. And next thing I know, I have, I'm looking at my Instagram DMs and people have sent me screenshots
Right.
of the scene. They're actually recording it from their phone cameras and they're like, your voice is there, your voice is there. So I watched the episode finally, come on, man. I've been a Marvel fan since I was a kid.
Yeah.
The whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. I remember, waiting for Spider-Man and reading the comics and trying to sketch it out. And, I just love Marvel. So it's a dream. It's a dream come true, really, to see that I'm now also a part of the Marvel brand
Absolutely. And
through my voice.
a lot of tracks, in fact, when it comes to Marvel, some of the old tracks of AC/DC went back on the charts when Iron Man released, because at
Yeah.
every entry of Iron Man, there was one or the other track of
Correct.
AC/DC playing in the background. Now, what's
Correct.
next in the pipeline for you? Anything cooking up in the studios?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, I'm an artist that works simultaneously on originals and covers at
Right.
the same time.
Yeah.
So because let's face it, familiarity breeds content, and people love to listen to something that's popular and familiar, and they like to hear your interpretation of it sometimes.
Yeah.
So right now, what I'm doing is I'm releasing very soon my version of Pasuri, Ali Sethi's song that's become so popular.
Yeah.
I love that song. I'm grooving to it all day and night. So I said, hey, let's just make a cover of it. So that's coming out very soon. Also, I'm in talks with a few producers about originals. Of course, they say that the pressure is high when you've been a part of such a big hit. Now people expect that every song is going to be the next big hit ever. But let's be honest. You make 10, 15, 20, 100 songs, and then one song works out. Unless you're born with a golden spoon, I don't know. So let's see. I'm churning out some ideas, but I'm definitely very excited because I'm also looking at coming to India very soon in the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited about that as well. I'm doing some PR activity for Jalebi Baby. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be a great musical year for me. I love it.
Fantastic. Shweta, thank you so much for connecting with me. Thank you so much for talking about, your songs and your music. Once again, congratulations. Your song has been featured on a Marvel mini-series. That's a big achievement. And all the best with your future releases.
Thank you so much, Rohit. I look forward to meeting you when I'm in India. And, thanks for having me on indigomusic.com. This is wonderful.
Well, it's our pleasure. Thank you, Shweta.